All right, so the starter went out in this car. I've done a bunch of tests to make sure it was a starter, and everything pretty much went back to the starter. So first off, I thought the ground strap broke because there's a ground strap way down there that does typically tend to break on these cars. I'm gonna move this thing out of the way first. It's gotta come out anyways. Let's give it a little wiggle. It's all plastic. Try not to break it because it is plastic. And so the first thing I did is, my voice just cracked, that was funny. First thing I did was I tried to get a ground strap and just kind of put it up here as a spare ground strap for the one that's down there, and it didn't start. Starter would click on rare occasions, but most of the times you hit the button, nothing happens. So under here, if you go under here, there's actually a CAS. Yeah, battery's still connected. Thanks for letting me know because I got to disconnect that. Under here is the CAS module. I think it's something security something, but under there, that's a possibility that why it won't start. But typically, if that is bad, there's a terminal 50 that sends it to the starter, and you can actually check that with codes and stuff. So I had a tablet on there with Pro Tools on there to make sure that it wasn't throwing a code for terminal 50 on the CAS module, and it did not. Also, another possibility, I actually had a check down in here also. This is a weird one, but it does happen from somebody telling me that it does happen. This is where the ECU, DME, DDE, whatever it's called, there's so many names now. This is where that thing is located under all this stuff. All this stuff is already removed because I actually had to look at it all. And right here, this is the ECU. And if you feel like it's not starting because of that, it has some weird thing where it's, I guess maybe it's rare, I don't know. I've never seen it happen, didn't know about it until the car didn't start and somebody told me about it. That fluid actually leaks, so weird. Fluid actually leaks through some of the harnesses from a leaky, I don't remember what it's called, but I'll put it on the screen. But it can actually leak into the ECU through these harnesses. I took all these harnesses out. They were all bone dry, so I didn't see any wetness or anything there, so it wasn't that either. So everything else leads to it just being a bad starter. I tried smacking it with the hammer, well, an extension, because it's not a whole lot of room in there, and I got nowhere. So we're replacing the starter today. So I'm gonna do this old school style with the GoPro on. I'm gonna try to do this quick because I don't have a whole bunch of time. I have other stuff to do today. Also, let me go ahead and disconnect the battery while I'm here. So to get to the battery tray, it is very oily back here because we had a, it was like one of the charge pipes had a leak in it and it was blowing hella fucking smoke. And I guess I never actually looked under here because it's not oily on top, of course. And it actually got really oily under here from the exhaust. But so there's, to remove this thing, is the battery tray. It's already taken off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a 5th one somewhere. I got 5 bolts here. There's a 5th bolt somewhere, but it's all Phillips heads. You just take those 5 out and then you can just lift this thing up. And boom, there is the battery. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this. This wrench is already attached to it. And there's some other tools in there. Take a 10, go ahead and loosen it. And battery is disconnected. So we are good. Let me put that back. And now I can start ripping it apart. All right, so I gotta see what tools I need because I have no idea. I did not look up a tutorial. I just know the starter's down here somewhere. So we're gonna pull this up. So this is just grommets. So this just snaps right off these grommets. So as far as that, we go there. So we're gonna pull the intake manifold off. We're gonna pull this off. So our loud cars. I was actually one of the techs. Actually, he has a cammed Suburban something. It's a Chevy, I know that, but it sounds pretty sick. All right, we're gonna take this off. And it looks like you just squeeze the ends. There we go. All right, and get this thing out of there. Cool. Not bad. I'll put it on this side, just in case the car needs to go over there. All right, you got insulation. So you're gonna have to remove 14 mil Allen sockets to get this thing out of here. I'm kidding, obviously, because this thing is out of here. Wow, this is, oh, I'm oily. Oh, I brought gloves and I didn't even put them on there. Where's my gloves? Oh, they're literally sitting right here. So here we are at the intake manifold. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove intake manifold. I mean, to get to the starter, first of all, I wonder if it's possible. So you follow this line right here, and this actually goes, I think this comes out, yeah. You just follow that to the starter. So I got my hand on the starter, and honestly, there's one starter bolt I'm touching right now, and the other starter bolt I'm touching right now. I honestly feel like I can get this out without removing this intake manifold. Part of me wants to try it, but cylinder number 2 needs a new glow plug, which I gotta look out, see exactly what that is, because I don't know diesels that well, but there is a code for a cylinder 2 glow plug, and it's gonna be somewhere here. It might be, I have no idea. I gotta look that up. I honestly do not know what a glow plug exactly is. So let's remove this harness with my phone. Yeah, taking pictures is almost like my counter to remember like every harness I've removed. That way when I go back, I just look at all the pictures I took. I'm like, did I get that one? Did I get that one? So let's get this out of here because it seems tight. I might not have to remove this, but we're gonna remove it anyways. Comes straight off. It's a lot of bolts. But if I just take all these bolts out, this sits under, yeah, if I take all these bolts out, it should just pop right off, right? Should have timed this to see how, it's a 141 right now. Let's say I started like 10 minutes ago. We'll call it 130. All right, all those bolts are loose. Let's pull these out. Do they come out? No, I think they stay locked in. That's weird. All right, let's go. Oh, let's go ahead and get this. Is that a 10? That is not a 10. This one is an 11. All right. All right, anything else I need to take off? Do I need to do these? Yeah, I probably need to do these also. I don't want to look it up. This is way more fun figuring it out. Yeah, okay, let's take the charge pipe off. And in that way, it should be able to move everything by itself. All right, let's try that. All right, charge pipe is disconnected, so that would mean this whole piece is now one piece. How do I just snapped it back in place on accident, but I need to get this out of here too. There's no room to put a thumb there, so use this. There you go. All right, I did not take a picture, but that one's pretty obvious that I'm missing something. So there, her charge pipe is disconnected. This thing is all one piece now. So this should all come off as one piece. Oh, that's what these are. Stupid. Players fuck up. Yep, there we go. And those are 11s. That makes so much sense. There we go. Now once I take these out, all right, before I pull them out and lose a bolt, let me get my magnet. And where's my magnet? I know a magnet was in my, there it is. Get these bolts before I lose them. How many was that? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinco. It's only 5, not 7. Not an E36. So this should move now, right? We making progress. Okay, now there is a harness on the back. I do not want to rip the harness off and make sure it's all loose before I go too far. Is it tugging on anything? I don't think so. All right, let's get this harness. Again, there's a harness way back here. Where's my phone? Let me take a picture. Take a picture of the harness back here so I remember. SQ7. Is that the one from before? One SQ7 came in for a completely new engine. I think a spark plug fell or something. Spark plug tip fell and it destroyed the head and the piston, and they just bought a new engine. It was a lot of money. Brand new SQ7 engine. Whew, can imagine. It does not come through that tab. There is a thing right here you push in and then it comes out. Okay, so that's it. Just see if this thing comes up now. Something's still holding it. Is that another bolt? Yep, there's a bolt hiding back here. There's a bolt. The bolt right here. Let me see how it feels. Pause if necessary. Yeah, it's an 11. Same as these, so it looks like that's just number 6. So there's 6 of these now. All right, and we got it. So, will the intake come off now? Stay tuned on the next episode of Dragon Ball. Nope, still not. Okay. Yep, that's connected to it. So that has a bolt here. Feels like a 10. I have a 10 here. Is that a 10? Shit. You heard it. You heard it. I dropped it. Oh, roll. That was a perfect roll. Almost lost a 10. All right, put an extension on it so I got a little bit more feel on it. I'll drop it. All right, this is a, yes, that is a 10. Okay. All right. So that goes the intake. I mean, what is this? Looks like a dipstick. Oh, it is a dipstick. These cars have dipsticks? No way. I know that sounds crazy to say, but like a lot of Beamers, a lot of new BMWs do not have dipsticks. They got rid of dipsticks. They want you to run the car for 30 minutes to find out what your oil level is at. Like an M3 is like that. It's so stupid. You do an oil change, you literally have to let the car idle for like 20-30 minutes for it to tell you what the oil level is. Oh, it's off. I just wasn't pulling it right. Just have to pull it completely flat for it to get off. Okay, cool. I'll take manifold out of there. The grommet fell. They're gonna be replaced anyways, but I just didn't want to lose it in the engine. All right, cool. Despite the time that took me trying to figure it out, it actually wasn't that bad. So we are here. So let me find out. I'm gonna have to look up what a glow plug is. Again, I'm not a diesel mechanic. This might be it, right? It's electrical. I'd imagine it's a glow plug. But the starter is right here. So as far as the starter, and there's this harness. It's actually not bad. This is actually not as scary to work on as I thought. So here's the starter. Here's a bolt right here and a bolt right here, and of course the two that go in the front. This one goes directly to the starter right here, right in the front. Battery's just disconnected, right? Yeah, it is. And then it looks like it has 2 harnesses on it, and then I imagine there's a ground. Yeah, I feel a ground right under there. So cool. So let me get, that looks like a 13, and the bottom is most likely a 10, like most starters. So remember, there's 1 harness here. I don't know, I took pictures, but for the most part. let's get this starter out of here. I'll take a picture of these harnesses too. I don't want to forget, because there's 2 harnesses, not 1. There we go. Boom. All right, don't drop the bolt. All right, 13. All right, we are out of there. Grab the bolt, don't drop it. By the way, I feel sorry for anybody that doesn't have one of these. This is literally the best tool in the world, I swear. It's changed your life. It'll change your life. Just invest. But they're really not that expensive, I don't think. As far as tools go, it's not the most expensive tool. I think it's cheaper than an Impact, so definitely go buy one. Even if you buy an off-brand one. I used to have an off-brand one, and then I got this one on sale. But the off-brand one worked pretty well too. All right, let's go ahead and do starter bolts, which is, of course, it's E socket. You can also, because most E sockets, you can also use wrenches most of the time. I don't want to strip it though, so I'll start with the E socket. Where's my E socket? I know I brought E socket. There we go. All right, we're taking a wild guess. What do you think? 10 or 12? 10 or 12? I'm saying 12. I think I guessed too big. Probably guessed too big. I don't think it's gonna be 12. Instinct says 12. And it's... it is a 12. I'm a genius, bro. Of course it's a 12. Duh. That was only my guess. Okay. Do I have to go under the car? Because there's no room to get a socket in there and twist that. So it's gonna be fun. All right, let me figure out what I'm gonna do about that. I may have to use wrenches. I think I do have some wrenches in my drift car that will work for this. All right, let me see what I got in the drift car. I keep the drift car here because I don't have any events for a long time. At least not till like maybe May. So, and the neighbors hate this car. They think it's a piece of shit. They're 100% right. It is a piece of shit, but it's a cool piece of shit. So they don't look at it like I do. Like, I like this car being a piece of shit, if that makes sense. But I do keep some handy emergency tools in here. And if I am correct, there's gonna be some very useful tools in here. Haha. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there. That should work. I'll bring all these 10, 12, 11. I don't know what side is gonna fit. I know these like 12-point ridges, they do work on E sockets. I always keep one of those in my car too. Remember my very first drift event, I broke that. If you know what that is, yeah. Luckily I didn't die, but that was a very scary thing. It happened off track. Well, it happened, I think it happened on track, but I was coming off track, and that's when it like fully gave out, and I just had zero steering. So you do not want to be on a track with zero steering. I'll leave this here. Don't steal it. Let me close the door. But yeah, I live close to the track, so having this car at home is a bonus because I can just drive to the track. This is way farther away from the track, but if I don't have any events, I kind of leave it here. That way it's kind of out of the way. What up, Mercedes? Doing good? I'm waiting on parts for you. Then we get to work. So we take this E12, right? Like I said, it's the same thing as this. That's a 10. So a 10, 12 point is basically an E12. So if this isn't extremely torqued, then I should be able to break this loose with this. Oh, and it's torqued. Of course it's torqued. It's a nice snug fit though. There we go. I got it loose. And then I dropped it. But the bolt's loose. Oh, Porsche. What's that doctor game? I forgot what it's called, but it's a really old school game that you used to bring things up. That's how I learned that skill right there. All right, let's go ahead and get this the rest of the way. Yeah, this is clutch. It's kind of flat. Honestly, I probably could have fit a regular one in here, but a angled one definitely helps. So yeah, for this job, have one of these, and definitely have one of these. Otherwise, you could probably go under the car, you know, put the car on a lift, or sit under the car, use long extensions like you would a regular transmission, drop, and get the bolts that way. But yeah, this is obviously much easier. Let's break this loose. Oh my God. And this thing is short, so there's not a lot of leverage. So it's probably not torqued too much, but I need a hammer. Here, we use this. I dropped it again. 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 And this thing is lowered, so I can't just go straight under it. Operation, that's what it's called. Operation. I knew I'd remember that game. All right, how we looking on time? We started at roughly 1:30. It's 2:18 now. About 45 minutes. You guys should be able to do it faster than me, because again, I didn't watch a tutorial. You guys are watching a live tutorial, except it's not live, but you know what I mean. You get to watching me figure it out, and I'm telling you what to do, so you'll know exactly what bolts to do versus me roaming around trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. All right, we got a starter bolt loose. Sweet. So yeah, 10 wrench, 12 point, perfect fit. Like I said, obviously I had enough grip on it to break it loose, so clearly it's doing something right, you know what I mean? Let me get this top one out, and then the starter should just come right out. And there we go. Are the bolts the same? Yes, make sure there wasn't no like left or right. So I should be able to pull this starter out. And we're free. So there's the 13 at the top and the 10. It goes this way. All right, we got the starter out. So hopefully that was the problem. Again, I've searched everything and it should be the problem. Let me go get the new stuff, change gloves to something more clean. And yeah, I need the cord, don't they? Let me bring this inside. So we got the starter out in roughly 45 minutes. It's not bad. And to put everything back, it could be a little bit faster. I said to change glow plug. It could be a little bit faster, but because now again I know where everything bolts up. So, but we'll see. Starter. Yep. Intake manifold's actually really easy on that car.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't worked on the diesel version of that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty easy, surprisingly easy. I didn't look any tutorials up or anything. I just started taking stuff apart and it came right off.
I'm assuming it just runs right across the top.
Yeah.
Like on the regular straight sixes.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same thing. So.
Out of curiosity, do the injectors, do those come through the intake and then you have the high pressure fuel line on top?
The lines are like curved, but there's indents on the thing. I didn't have to take anything else except intake bolts.
Oh, that's nice.
And it comes right off. And everything's still bolted up, so it's perfect. All right. I need a starter.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on back. You may give me the part bucket. Say you need one.
I'll take it.
You sure you don't want to put that 5.3 in there while you're in there, or you know?
Yeah,
you got something more reliable. That one's gonna be back doing the same thing. Got your starter bolts. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll even carry it up there for you.
All right, that'll work. There we go. Oh, new parts. All new gaskets. Got me a new starter bolts. Yeah. We're gonna get me some new gloves. Gonna go ahead and throw the starter in here first, and then I gotta research the glow plug. Shiny. All right, 2 prongs here and 1 prong here. Let's go ahead and put this back in place. I'm gonna tighten it first. Does it have any? Yes, it does have a dowel pin right here, which I think goes here. Yes, so string this thing through here. All right, guys, I'm back. I had a little bit of a panic attack because I was trying to put the starter in there, and I don't know if you guys heard it, but you know when GoPros die, they make that beeping sound. As soon as I got the starter close to where it's supposed to be, I heard beep, and I was like, what the fuck has power? Like, it scared the hell out of me. So I thought something about to explode, but it was the GoPro dying, and I just tossed it. But so we just have this camera left. This isn't even fully charged, so hopefully we can at least get the rest of putting it back in. As far as everything else, then yeah. But as far as putting it back together, I don't have to film that, just reverse. So anyways, let's go back. Like, it was literally like right when I like touched something, I heard a beep and I was like, oh my God, something has power and it shouldn't. So I got really, really scared for a second, but we're good. We're good. All right, let's try to get this lined up best as I can. Again, there is a dowel pin, which I think is the smaller one. Yeah, so get that pushed in there, and let's go ahead and get this thing started threading up with the new bolts. We're gonna put the new starter bolts in there. All right, I think that started. Let's start the other one. Oh, here's the glow plug. Yeah, this thing is so full. Let me see what the glow plug even looks like, because I gotta change that too. But you do have to remove the intake manifold, so killing 2 birds with 1 stone, am I right? Okay. So whatever it is, it's just a wrench or a socket or something. Okay, so that's what the glow plug is. I gotta figure that out, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the starter done first, because at least I know what the starter is. That's the starter. I found it. All right, got them started. Now I gotta get them tight. Oh, I'm stupid. Yep, goes that way. Okay. Yeah, this tool is clutch right here. You need this tool. Without this tool, again, I think you can do it. Let's see if I have wrenches handy. I'm gonna try it with a regular wrench. I just want to see. That way, just in case you don't have this cool tool. But I gotta walk all the way to the toolbox. Okay, let me go get a 10 real quick. This is out of curiosity. This is a waste of time right now, but this is out of curiosity. Because everybody doesn't have these. And honestly, I'm being 100% honest, this is the very first time I ever actually used these. I bought these from a friend a long time ago. I was like, these are cool. And I bought it, threw it in the drift car, because I figured if I was gonna need it in the emergency, the drift car would be better than at home. And yeah, they've just been sitting here, so it's good. I get to use it now. I think this thing is low on air. It might need air. I think it's like 10 PSI low. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not a tech. Here's a regular. There's a regular fit. Oh, it does. Okay, you don't need the curved one. You see, it's very, I mean, it's right against this insulation right here. Oh my God. It's right next to the insulation. You can push on the insulation and give you a little bit of room, but yes, that is as pretty much as far as back out as the bolt will be, and it does work. I'm gonna go ahead and use this though. On this side, I don't think you can get away with a straight one. At the very top, you have room to go all the way, but on the over here, I don't know. I'm kind of pushing it, so get these just in case. It won't hurt. I don't know how much these were. I bought it from a friend for pretty cheap. He wasn't using them, but the brand is Cobalt, or you can get some Amazon ones. You can get Gear Wrench. Gear Wrench is a good Amazon brand. I have gear wrench stuff. It works pretty well, so you can do that too. But yeah, either way, you can figure it out. All right, we're gonna get this to German torque specs. Good and tight. All right, starter's in there. Oh, let me get the wrench before I forget. Otherwise, I will leave it here. It's not on the floor. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, God. I have no idea where my wrench is. Thing is gone. Let's start reaching around for stuff. Oh, Wrenchy Poo. Where are you? Okay, I've been looking for this thing for like 20 minutes now. Really extending my time here, so. But I'm gonna give you all the real time we finished this, you know. Started with the time. And things like this unfortunately do happen. And they waste a lot of time. A lot of times working on cars, the longest part is just like finding the bolt or the tool you just had. That's honestly the longest part. Yeah, it's gone. Again, it'll fall out. Okay, moving on.
You get a glow plug?
Yeah, where is the glow plug? I don't know shit about a fucking diesels.
Shit, I don't know, but it should be. That's probably it right there.
That's what. Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, you know which one it is?
It's supposed to be two. Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
that's exactly what it is. All right, perfect. That's easy.
I don't know what the torque is on them, but dude, these things break off really easily, so be careful.
Really?
with that.
Bet.
I don't know how they are on these, but I know like every other diesel would break off super fucking easy.
All right, good to know.
I've seen that a lot.
All right, I want to get the regular socket on there to ensure its tightness. And yeah, just need to make sure it's super tight. Okay, and that is tight. And famous last words, it ain't going nowhere. And also I gotta hurry up because this thing is about to die. So the battery is getting low on this camera. Okay, it's not dead. It started beeping, I thought it died. It's about to die though. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm not gonna film me putting the intake back on, but I will go ahead and tighten this bolt up and we'll be done with the starter, and then change this glow plug and then basically put the intake back on and start the car. So I do have all the grommets, which are actually in the, whatever you call it. Well, let me get this tight first. Okay. All right, and starter is replaced. Again, that actually isn't a bad job. Again, we freestyled. So again, I'm gonna have to turn the camera off, but let's just pretend we're done. Let's just put this back on here. There's one harness there. You got all these bolts, just boom, 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 run down the line. We'll have to slide this back on here. And there's one harness that goes through here, and that goes back on the front of the intake. So boom, boom, on the very back, and then boom, and then all these square and circle grommets. Just gonna pull these off just like that and put the new ones on there, and they just lay it in there. And the charge pipe will connect there. These, I don't think they come all the way out. They look like they're attached with this little washer here, so they don't fall out. So again, just lay it flat, button it up. But let's go ahead and do this glow plug, a cylinder 2 glow plug. It does have a code for cylinder 2 glow plug. So let's find out what size this is. I lost the 10 I just had. Again, I'm telling you, this is the longest part about cars. Working on cars, I swear, is finding the tool you just had. Okay, this is a 13. I think it's too long for, yeah, it's definitely too big for a 13. I had a long 10 eighth. I just used it. Oh, I put it back. Like a smart guy. So yes, this is just a 10. Okay, let's get this loose. Get this in the box for now. So let's be very careful. It's loose. You're all free now. burnt. Ooh, that stinks. All right, and the new one goes in just like that. That's it, and then you put the harness on top, and donezo. So as long as I don't break this, should be good. All right, and we're done. I don't want to go too tight. It's aluminum head. I don't want to strip anything. Should be fine. And boom, glow plug starter replaced. So I'm gonna turn this camera off and we'll save it for the startup. So yeah, let me go ahead and put everything back together. Like I said, just gotta put all these things in there and et cetera, and battery like literally about to cut off right now. It's blinking red. Okay. All right, moment of truth. Just put everything back together. I'll put that part on after, but connect to the battery. And this should, for the love of God, start. Yes. Yes. And no check engine light, because I had check engine light on for all this stuff of chassis code, all this stuff would go away. I had check engine light on for the glow plug, so change the glow plug too. So we are successful. This thing is running, and it was the starter. If it wasn't the starter, I was confused because I really had no idea. But yeah, we're good. So yeah, successfully changed the starter in the X5, so I can actually drive this thing now. It is in neutral lock. There is a switch under the car, so I have to actually lift the car up now to actually. There's a screw that puts it in neutral on this car. So on other X5s, I don't know if it's a diesel thing or LCI thing. I think it's an LCI thing. You'll have this thing in the back connected with the battery, and you'll actually, if you need to put it in neutral, you can actually take this thing out, use this screw for that thing, which is square shape, and then there's another thing in there, and you'll turn and put it in neutral. This car doesn't have it. There's a thing under the car, so you have to actually lift the car up, and it's annoying. But it started, so success. So let me do that thing so I can get it out of neutral real quick and put the rest of the intake parts on. X5 is back.
Yay.
That's fine.
Yay.
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 You know I have to pay the tech rate.
That's me. That's me. That's me. I'm getting paid right now. I'm getting paid right now. How many hours was that? 12?
Okay, just because it took you 12 doesn't mean you get 12.
So I'm never being a tech. See, I need to get paid by the hour. I don't like this stuff. All jokes aside, it is 3:45 now. I don't know if you guys can see it. Trying to confirm. I wouldn't lie to you. We started at roughly 1:30. And I ain't gonna lie, once I turned the camera off and put everything back, I was kind of vibing a little bit. I was kind of taking my time. I was going through my phone and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't really in a rush, but so what is that? Roughly 2 hours? 2 hours and 15 minutes? That's pretty quick. Again, never did it before. Freestyled it, didn't look it up. So now that I know exactly what I would need to do, if I had to do it again, probably an hour and a half. And without losing tools, there is a wrench in there I gotta find. So I'm probably gonna drive around the parking lot till it falls out. I choked on mine. That was weird. Pause. But yeah, so you're done. So again, let me put this back on here. While we got a little bit of battery left, I'm gonna try to go into the car and show you guys what I'm talking about with that other thing. All right, let me try to show you this before the battery dies. You need a 5mm. We're going to slide up under the car. Yes, under the damn car. And over here is the there's a pan, right? Like a transmission pan right there. You're supposed to take the pan down with all the bolts. I think it's 8 mils or something like that. There's some on, you know, all over. Nah, I ain't doing that. I drilled a hole right through here so you can actually get through what you need to do. And it's you probably can't see it, but under there is a little bolt, a 5mm Allen, and you twist it to put it in neutral. You twist it all the way up, and now since we're done and it doesn't have to be neutral, that way you can tow the car and stuff, I'm gonna untwist it all the way. So let me get a little further under here. getting it. So I might have to go a little bit higher in this car. Yeah, I gotta go a little bit higher. I can't, because I gotta at least aim it. Is that it? No. Don't confuse it for a transmission pan bolt, because those are stars. It's an Allen. It's literally an Allen. Yeah, I gotta go higher, but let me do that real quick. And like I said, I'll get under there in that hole that I made and just loosen it all the way down until it stops, and then it's back in regular drive, and then we'll drive the car. Okay, so the battery died, but X5 is good. Just drove it up and down the block. It's very dusty, very dirty, pollen everywhere. But just drove it up and down the block. All the lights and all that stuff went away, so everything's good. So gonna leave this thing here. I'll pick it up tomorrow, because gotta leave with the car I drove here, and then get a ride up here and then take that car home. So gotta do some car shuffling, but we'll get that thing back home. But it's back in the mix now. It's back to the perfect daily, and yeah, that was just it. So changing a starter on an X5, not that hard. It looks intimidating, but not that hard. So intake manifold comes straight up after 7 bolts in a line, and then however many are at the top, and then 2 harnesses, and then the charge pipe, and that was it. And intake manifold comes up. So really easy. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Deuces. I will see you in the next one.